Hello everybody from around the world and welcome to this review for NextGenSprites 1.1 update. In this update we get two new interesting features. The first one is multi-layer for the sprite and the second one is multi-channel masking for emission. Let's take a look at the first feature. So with multi-layer we can now stack above our main sprite two additional layers, and this is done by using a mask where we look at the red, green and blue color channels. So let me enable the feature here, and now as you can see we have two additional layers that we can assign the texture. As you can see we have this one and this color gradient, and here on we have the mask. So let me quickly explain how the mask works. As mentioned before, we use the red, green and blue color channels. The red channel represents the main sprite. Let me zoom in, it's here along the border. And the green and blue channel represents the two additional layers. The green color channel stands for the second layer and blue for the third layer. And as you can see, they work accordingly. I could also change this to something else, like this galaxy, for example. And we can also change this back. And yeah, this setup with the mask is very simple, very powerful, and I think very friendly to artists. And there are really no limits on what you can do with these masks. And also one cool new feature for the multi-layer is also texture scrolling. So on the second and third layer I can enable scrolling speed for the X and Y axis. So let's say for the second layer I add, let's say on the X axis 0.2 speed, and now you can see our sprite is scrolling. And I can also go negative, and now it's going the other direction. And let's see the third layer, which is this gradient inside the letter here. I could say, for example, scrolling y-axis 0.3. Now we can see the gradient is moving the sprite here. Great. So you can see very powerful and still very simple to use just with a simple mask, and that's all you need. And also one thing I really like to mention is that this way you don't need to make an additional sprite, make a new material, yield a new draw call, nothing of that. We are on the same shader, on the same material, and Bob's your uncle. Alright, now let's look at the last but not least new feature, the multi-channel emission masking. And it works kind of the same. So let's take a look here. It is. So here we have our normal sprite with emission and so on. And we can only use one single tinting and emission for our emission. But with multi-layer masking, we can use on the mask all three color channels. So let me enable it. And now you can see we have three layers. The first layer is masked by the red, second by green, and third by blue. And this is how the mask looks like. As you can see, for example, the first layer red would be then give emission on the eye here, and green the second emission would be then here the head, and blue the third layer would be here the feathers, and so on. And I can send the tint color all individually for each channel here. So very simple, very intuitive. I can also set the intensity. All very interesting. The second layer we can say yellow or blue, red, and so on. And also there's something very special. The third layer has also pulse animation built in for your convenience. It's basically a fading in and out, so you can have some interesting pulse effect. And we can see it set the speed and blending the animation in. So let me set this to 1. And as you can see, our emission on the third layer is now fading in and out. Again, I can set the tint, can say yellow, blue and red. And I can also set the intensity. And also the speed, so I could say, for example, 7. And now it's blinking or pulsating very fast. Or I can say 0.2. And now we have a very, very slow fade. And now you can see it's fading out. Then it's fading back in. And again, very simple by just using this mask, red, green and blue. And that's it, really. And yes, I hope you like these new features. I think they can add more creativity to your workflow and help you in making more interesting effects. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, please ask me on Twitter or on the Unity forums or whatever, all that jazz. And thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.